Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Dr. Ghost and today we are going to be checking out my top 5 most favorite ships in World of Warships Legends. So you guys did actually vote on the most recent poll over on my community page. I had 3 options there and you guys chose the second option, going over my top 5 favorite ships in World of Warships Legends, and I came up with a list, okay, of my most favorite ships in the game. The ships that I have a special place in my heart for, okay, well, rather that have a special place in my heart. There's some ships I really love, and I'm going to go over all of them. So, starting off at the 5th spot here, the number 5 ship on my list is none other than the Iowa. The Iowa was the very first ship that I was grinding towards when I started playing World of Warships Legends. I'm sure most of you guys know Spartan Elite 43, and I started watching his channel when I started playing this game. And when he was playing through the American battleships and when he started making Iowa videos, I was like, I have to have that ship. And I looked up the history of it. This was when I was getting really into World of Warships Legends. And, well, the Iowa, no matter what, even though it's sometimes super trolly, it will always have a special place in my heart. The Iowa was the very first Tier 7 ship I ever got, and yeah, I absolutely love it, man. I'm hoping to eventually get Missouri, but until then, the Iowa is taking my number 5 spot in my most favorite ships here. If you take a look at the ship, I'll go over why I love this ship so much. Obviously, I mean, hey, it's one of the most sexiest looking American ships ever. I mean, look at this thing. Absolutely love it, man. The American battleships, especially the higher tier ones, they look so damn good. Especially with this camouflage here, the navy blue, black, and the gray there, it just looks so good. And one thing to mention too, is if we go take a look at the specs here, the survivability, 72,800 hit points. This thing does have a pretty good number of hit points. The guns as well, man. These are the classic American 406mm 16-inch Mark 7 50 caliber guns. These guns are phenomenal. When they decide to do things, they are super deadly. I can't count how many times I've had Iowa guns just do the most stupid things to people. And in real life, they were also phenomenal as well. Taking a look also at the anti-aircraft defense, the AA, super solid. Some of the best anti-aircraft at the tier. Super good AA, and it's especially prevalent because, well, there's carriers in the game, and carriers are quite a problem, so having an extra, you know, bit of AA is really nice. And, yeah, Iowa definitely does have some of the best AA at the tier, and also not to mention the maneuverability, mainly the speed. The Iowa in real life was a fast battleship, and she's also the same in Legends. You could get the Iowa speed even past this speed I have now, 27 knots. The only problem with the Iowa, in my opinion, the only problem, there's a couple actually, but the one main issue is the maneuverability itself. The 920 meter turning circle radius, yeah, this ship turns like a damn semi-truck with a full load on. It's not good. And of course the rudder shift is also atrocious. That's one of the main problems with the Iowa. Also, another main issue with the Iowa is it just has a lot of superstructure. As you guys can see, there's so much superstructure. So a lot of the time, people will be aiming higher and just saturating that like nobody's ever seen before. So, but if you learn to angle and not worry about your superstructure as much, as you guys can see, the Iowa's armor is really good. 32mm of bow and stern plating. That is enough armor to ricochet shells up to 16 inches. Taking that away and taking a look at the side plating for the torpedo protection, 25mm. Not very good torpedo protection on the Iowa. You should never be taking torps. The thwart ship armor, pretty good. And, of course, the armor belt is really solid as well, literally. So, all around, the Iowa, really solid ship. Literally. It's got very good armor. And if you just stay bow on to people like this, or even show a little bit of angle like that, as long as you get people to aim along your hull there, you're going to be just fine. So, yeah, Iowa easily takes my number 5 spot on my top 5 list. Now, moving on to the number 4 spot. Can you guys guess what it is? Well, it's none other than the Tier 7 American heavy cruiser, the Baltimore. Are you guys starting to see a trend here? Yeah, I love my American ships. There's no other nation in the game that I love more than the United States. And, well, the Baltimore is on my number 4 spot here on my top 5 list. The Baltimore was the second tech tree American ship that I researched. I absolutely love the Baltimore, right? I started the game playing battleships, but I slowly started playing other ships as well. And the American heavy cruisers, slowly but surely, became my favorite types of ships in the game. It's a toss-up between American destroyers and American heavy cruisers. But I think, in my opinion, the American heavy cruisers are some of the best American, or just some of the best heavy cruisers in the game. These guns, the armor, the AA, everything about them, the radars, the heals, everything, the high amount of HP. American heavy cruisers are some of the best cruisers in the game. I absolutely love them. Super heavy American armor piercing. We talk about this all the time on the channel when I do videos on American heavy cruisers. I absolutely love American heavy cruisers. I would say that they're my main class, really. If I play competitive games, so if I play fleet battles, I always take out Baltimore. I always take out ships like Wichita. They are fucking great. Part of my language. Absolutely love them. I also do like their light cruisers as well. I like other ships as well. I don't just like Americans. Like, for example, I like the Prince Eugen. That's a pretty fun ship. But it's no Baltimore. There's no question. It's no freaking Baltimore. Baltimore's phenomenal. Let's go and take a look at the stats here. So 42,400 hit points. Really high for a Tier 7 American heavy cruiser. I mean, that's pretty average for heavy cruiser standards, but it's still pretty good. And, of course, you got access to those 9 203mm 8-inch guns, man. Mark 15, absolutely disgusting guns. These things hit like absolute freight trains. The super heavy armor piercing, the improved sticky shot pen angles, oh my god. It's just a wet dream, man. It's phenomenal. The Baltimore can deal with destroyers, it can deal with cruisers, and it can even absolutely smack around battleships. It's hilarious. I love it. The AA defense, once again, American ships just usually have good AA, especially after what happened at Pearl Harbor. You know, the anti-aircraft defense on the Baltimore is very good. It's pretty damn spicy. There you go. 300 average damage per second on the AA all across the board. So, and of course the maneuverability. The maneuverability, it is a little sluggish, but it is a quick cruiser. 32.5 knot speed, which is pretty average for an American cruiser. And of course, 730 meter turning stroke radius, a little high for a cruiser, and of course a 7-second rudder, man. Baltimore, absolutely love it. You should not have to be worrying about maneuverability as much. What you need to be worrying about in the Baltimore is those guns. Those guns is what makes the Baltimore shine. I love it. I absolutely love it. Now, taking a look at the other things about this ship, the armor is really good for a heavy cruiser. You are absolutely plastered in 27mm of armor, meaning that you can ricochet shells up to 15 inches. So anything with 15-inch guns or smaller will not be able to penetrate this bow on if it's armor piercing, okay? So a lot of ships at Tier 7 do have 15-inch guns. Not like a super a lot, but there are quite a few, and you do see them out there quite a bit. Tirpitzes, Bismarcks, Vanguards, ships like that. You will be able to actually bow tank them. So, yeah, the armor is really solid for a heavy cruiser, or for a cruiser in general. Taking away all the armor, the only downside is the Citadel. But let's be real. Most, if not all, cruisers have bad, you know, protection when it comes to Citadels, okay? It has a pretty big Citadel, so there you go. But then again, most cruisers do at Tier 7. The Baltimore is not exclusive to this, this thing here. So, yeah, that's going to take my top 4, or that's going to take my 4th spot on my top 5 list. The Baltimore. Absolutely love it. Now, moving on to the top 3. The 3rd spot on my list here. This was hard for me to pick, but I think in the end, I really just, over the years, I've absolutely fell in love with this little destroyer, and that is none other than the Tier 6 American Premium Destroyer. The first premium on the list, USS Kidd. Oh my god, do I just absolutely love this ship. I don't play it as much anymore, but when I do need to play Tier 6s, I absolutely love the Kidd. The Kidd is one of the best gunboats at Tier 6. It's also a Fletcher-class destroyer at Tier 6, the Fletcher being at Tier 7, and this ship is not short of it's just, oh, it's beautiful, man. I can't even freaking begin to just explain why I love this ship. It's just the guns. The amount of firepower that the Kidd can dish out. 5 127mm 5-inch guns with rapid firing reload. It's just amazing. Taking a look at the specs here. Setting on my build, I've got a 19,950 hit points. That is super stupid for a tier 6 destroyer. Nearly 20k HP on a tier 6 DD. That's hilarious. The artillery. Obviously, this is what really makes the Kidd shine. 5 127mm 5-inch guns. These are also dual-purpose 5-inch guns, meaning they also count as anti-aircraft as well. These guns of my build shoot out to 10.7 kilometers, but the main thing that makes them so special is the reload. 3.1 second reload on my build. So you're shooting 5 guns every 3 seconds. It's just, oh, I love it. So much fun, the Kidd is. And obviously you got some torpedoes, but the torpedoes is where the Kidd just, you should not be worrying about torpedoes in a Kidd. Let's be real. One thing to mention too about the Kidd is the anti-aircraft. It's so good. I mean, for a destroyer at tier 6, the AA is very, very solid. And obviously the maneuverability and the concealment, pretty good and average for a destroyer. So yeah, Kidd, absolutely love it. The Kidd was one of my first premium ships that I bought. Back when you know, premium ships for tier 6 were the best money-making ships. Kidd was my favorite go-to moneymaker for a long time. And just look at my XP too in it. I mean, if you just take a look at the top left, my XP for all these ships is not short of just impressive, I think. So, yeah, that's my number 3 pick on the list, the Kidd. I love this thing. I love taking it out to this day. That's why I have so much XP on it. It's so much fun. And now we're getting into my most favorite ships in the entire game. These are 2 of my most I love these ships so much. I still play them to this day. And the number 2 pick on my list of top 5 most favorite ships in World of Warships Legends goes to none other than the tier 7 American battleship or premium battleship, the Massachusetts. You know, this ship is my most played ship, but it's not my favorite ship. I have over 3.2 million Elite XP in this thing. It is by far, in my opinion, one of the best, if not the best, Tier 7 American battleships in the entire game. It's so versatile. It's got good maneuverability for a battleship, which is unheard of. It's got good freaking speed. It's got great armor, great armaments. I mean, this thing all around is solid. And, speaking of solid, it has some of the most stupid torpedo protection in the entire game as well. Let's go take a look at the specs so I can show you guys exactly what I'm talking about here. 66,000 hit points, which is pretty average for the tier. But look at that torpedo damage reduction. 50%. That is unheard of. That's unheard of. The South Dakota class battleships, the Massachusetts mainly, and of course the Alabama, both of them have a very stupid torpedo damage reduction. These ships, when they take torpedoes, and if those torpedoes hit on the side bulge there where the torpedo protection is, well, those torpedoes are going to do 50% less damage. So let's say, for example, if a torpedo does 20,000, well, that torpedo is only going to do around 10,000. So, yeah. The torpedo damage reduction's stupid good. The armor also really good. We'll go over that here in a second. But also, look at the armament, too. You have access to 406mm 9 of them. You got 406mm 16-inch guns. They are 45 caliber guns, and they are absolutely they're just disgusting. The American 16-inch guns are some of the best guns in the game. I mean, really, that's what the Americans are all about. Some people don't understand why Americans love American ships so goddamn much, but it's just because Americans have the best firepower. Other than maybe the Japanese Yamato, but that thing is just, well, it's Yamato. What do you expect? But man, oh man, oh man, the American guns. That's why I love American ships so much. This is why that's why American ships are in my top 5 list. Americans, I have the most playtime in, and Massachusetts, it's probably my most favorite battleship in the game, still to this day. If I need to play a solid battleship, Massachusetts is my pick. Obviously, taking a look too at the secondaries as well. The secondaries on the Massachusetts are not short of amazing. 10.5 kilometer range on my secondaries. That is unheard of. That is unheard of for an American ship. A lot of you guys love secondary builds. This is why I'm always encouraging you guys to pick up the Massachusetts, because not only does the Massachusetts have phenomenal guns, main battery guns, but it also has really, really solid secondaries as well. You guys can really have some fun with this ship. It's super versatile. You can do a lot of fun things with the Massachusetts. Now, taking a look at the anti-aircraft defense, excuse me, pardon me, taking a look at the anti-aircraft defense, it is solid, all around solid. I mean, it's a trend with American ships. After Pearl Harbor, when we got attacked by the Japanese planes and all that, yeah, we made sure that anti-aircraft was never an issue again. So, anti-aircraft, just phenomenal. Maneuverability, once again, pretty damn good. It's actually Baltimore levels of maneuverability in terms of the turning circle radius. The Massachusetts' turning circle radius is stupid good. 700 meters on a battleship is nuts. That's super solid. The speed is also pretty good as well. And the rudder shift, 15.7 seconds. That's the one main downside there, is the rudder shift. But all around, Massachusetts is super solid. And speaking of solid, take a look at the armor. 32 millimeters everywhere. Taking away that 32 millimeters, you have some pretty good side plating and whatnot there for the torpedo damage protection. Taking that away and taking a look at the side plating here on the superstructure, you got lots of superstructure. That's always a problem with American ships. But then here is where this ship really comes in, and that is the freaking armor belt. The armor belt is very solid. Literally, it's just super solid. All around the armor on the Massachusetts is super good. Man, I need to clear my throat. But we're getting close to being done here, so I think we're going to pull through. But no, all around the armor on the Massachusetts is super solid. And, of course, just look at it. She's a great-looking ship. I think, in my opinion, the South Dakota-class battleships were some of the best American battleships ever made, other than the Iowas. But the Iowas didn't have as much service history compared to the South Dakotas. So I absolutely love the South Dakotas. They're perfectly built, perfect dimensions. I mean, just look at it. It's such a good-looking ship. I absolutely love it. And it's taking my number 2 spot on my top 5 list. But, coming on to my first pick on the list. My most favorite ship of all time in this game. Currently, as of now. This could change, of course. A lot of these ships change around, really. I love a lot of ships. You guys got to keep this in mind. I had to sacrifice a lot of things, you know, but I love so many ships in this game, it's hard for me to choose a top 5 list. But if I had to say without a doubt, my most favorite ship in World of Warships Legends is going to... It's going to surprise a lot of you, most likely. A lot of you guys probably think I just love high tiers and whatnot. But no! My most favorite ship in the entire game lately has been the Tier 4 American Premium Light Cruiser, the Marblehead. Yeah, if you guys have been watching the channel for the past year and a half, 2 years, you guys should know that the Marblehead is my favorite ship in the game. I don't know why I love the Omahas. The Omaha class light cruisers are some of my most favorite ships in the game. I absolutely love the high risk, high reward glass cannon playstyle. The reason why I love the Marblehead is because of its guns. It has some of the best firepower at the tier, okay? You've got 12 American 6-inch guns. They're rapid firing, 5-second reload on them on my build. Actually, I get it even lower than 5 seconds, if I wanted to. They are just stupid good. And one thing to mention, too, is the maneuverability. The speed is really good as well. The concealment is good as well. And on the Marblehead, you have longer range torpedoes. You have, take a look at the specs. You have 8-kilometer torpedoes. So, it's kind of fun, man. I just love playing this ship. It's the most fun I've ever had in a cruiser. You know, I cannot count how many times I have just finessed the ever-living hell out of battleships with this thing. They think since, oh, it's an Omaha, I can dev strike it, right? No, 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 no. That is not the case. I just dodge, bro. Like, literally, I piss off so many people in the Marblehead, it's not even funny. You think you're going to dev strike me, but in reality, I'm going to dodge, I'm going to weave, I'm going to get into cover, I'm going to do everything in my power to just burn you down and dodge everything you send at me. It's amazing. Taking a look at the maneuverability. 34 knot speed on my build. 600 meter turning circle radius with a 5-second rudder. All around, the maneuverability is really solid. One downside is the AA. The AA is non-existent, so carriers you got to worry about. But the artillery, man, that's what makes this thing so damn good, is the fucking artillery. Are you guys seeing a trend with American ships? It's the thing that makes American ships so good is not their fucking armor or anything like that. It's their armaments. You see, American defense is our offensive capabilities. That's how it's always been. The Americans in this game have phenomenal firepower. And the Marblehead here is no short of an exception to that, role here. That's what makes the Marblehead and the Omaha so good. I love them. They're so much fun to play. Rapid firing guns. You got damn near destroyer reload on these 6-inch guns. It's just nothing else to say. And of course, the only downside with the Omahas, the only downside is that giant citadel. That's it. That's the only downside. There's nothing else wrong with these ships. The armor. Just the armor's bad. That's it. But let's be real. You're a light cruiser. If you can use your brain, if you can actually get in between islands and use your maneuverability and speed and all of that to your advantage, it should not matter how bad your armor is. Minotaurs, for example. You got Minotaurs. They have bad armor. We all learn to deal with it. You got ships like Indianapolis. Bad armor. You learn to deal with it. Ships like Megami. Ships like Otago. You have bad armor, but you learn to deal with it. Right? That's exactly how these ships are played. The thing is, you don't have good armor, you have good firepower. That's all. That is how cruisers have always been. Is you should not have to be whining about your armor. You should be praising your firepower. Doing everything in your power to utilize your firepower. And that right there is why I love this ship. It dishes out so much damage at tier 4. It's one of my most favorite ships to play. I love it so much. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to conclude today's video. I hope you all did enjoy it. If you guys did, go down there and hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. That's my top 5 list of my most favorite ships in the game. American ships have always had a special place in my heart, and they still will. They're my most played nation. I absolutely love playing American ships. I think they're some of the best ships in the game. There is a little bit of bias there, but let's be real. The bias is sort of backed up at the same time. There's no doubt that American ships are the best. There's just no doubt about it. They've always been some of the most solid ships in World of Warships Legends, and they're going to continue to be such, okay? Now, I wanted to see if I could show you guys what my most played nation is. Okay, so here we go. So if we take a look in the bottom left there, guys. My most played nation, by far, is the United States. 8,754 battles played in American ships. So, I think it's only just to put most, if not all, of the American ships in my top 5 favorite list. I have to be honest to you guys, and that's exactly what I'm being in this video. American ships are my favorite, and there's my top 5 list. So, yeah. Anyway, y'all, thank you so much for watching today's video, and yeah, we're getting super close to 3,000 subscribers, so make sure you guys do hit that subscribe button. If you haven't done so, make a YouTube account. It's free, and just hit that big red button. Refer a friend over here if you think they will like Legends content and whatnot. I've got absolute loads of videos on the channel, tips, guides, reviews, everything. So there's plenty of content here for y'all to consume here. But nonetheless, have a fantastic rest of your weeks, everybody, and I will catch you all on the next one. Peace out. Stay healthy, as always.